Hello everyone, today I'm here to do another Mashup review. If you're unfamiliar with Mashup reviews on my channel, it is where I take 3 books, usually within the same genre or kind of similar genres, review them for you all in one video. They are spoiler free, they're relatively short. I pretty much just tell you what the book is about, my rating, and what I thought of it. Today I'm reviewing 3 YA contemporary books, because what else is new? I really love YA contemporary. Books I'll be talking about today are Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian, Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett, and You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone by Rachel Lynn Solomon. As always, I will leave timestamps down in the info box below, letting you know what particular time I talk about each individual book in case you're interested in hearing one particular book review. Without further ado, let's get into this Mashup review. So the first book I want to talk about is Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian. This one actually is not out quite yet. I apologize for that. It should be out within a couple weeks. So it's not super early I'm reviewing it, but maybe it'll help you decide if you want to buy it or not before it's even out. This cover alone, you can tell this is a perfect summer spring read in my opinion. It is all about this creamery called Mead Creamery, and it's open every single summer, and we follow our main character Amelia. Amelia is a Mead Creamery girl, and she has worked there for like the past 4 summers, and this summer she is head girl. She's like in charge of all the other girls, and what happens is the person that owned Mead Creamery was a very old lady. She actually died, and who takes ownership is her nephew, who is actually only like a couple years older than Amelia, and things are starting to change. So this book is all about the creamery pretty much. We have this ice cream stand. It's not like an ice cream truck or like a storefront. It is a stand. Like they have it boarded up every single year, all year round, and they unveil it like at the beginning of June, and they're open for the summer. And it's a really coveted place. Like people travel far and wide for this creamery because it's homemade ice cream and things like that. And in this book, Amelia obviously meets the nephew of the deceased owner and starts to talk to Amelia, and they're kind of running out of ice cream, so Amelia has to figure out how to make it, and she delves into the diaries of the person that owned it and figuring out how the Mead Creamery came to be. I really wanted to love this book. I mean, it's got everything I love in a book. It's a YA contemporary. I love YA contemporaries. It's a summer read. It's about an ice cream stand. It's about friendship and romance. It has so many things that I just enjoy in books. But unfortunately, I did not love this. This book, I think, had some good things about it, and it also had some bad things about it. My favorite factor of this entire book was in fact the creamery, how it came to be, how we got to read the diary of the owner back when she was, you know, making these ice cream flavors when her fiance was off at war and she decided to venture into this creamery place. I really love that, and I love the whole atmosphere of Mead Creamery and the rich history behind it, but kind of where my love stops. Amelia is a very likable character. She has a good head on her shoulders. She wants to do the right thing. So I did enjoy her as well, but there is a friendship in this book between Amelia and her best friend, who also works at the creamery, that is just very toxic. I feel like in this friendship, Amelia is the friend that tries way too hard, that tries to please her other friend, that tries to be the better friend constantly, and you're not getting that same feeling back from the other friend. And I hate that in a friendship. It has to be give and take in a friendship. You can't just be the person that gives and gives and gives and then gives some more. You have to have some take back when you have a friendship. So the fact that we had this friend, the supposedly best friend of Amelia, she was not a supposed best friend. She was not there for Amelia. She did not listen to Amelia. She did not help her. She just disrespected her a lot. She just, I did not enjoy that. The friendship was toxic. Also, the romance was very lackluster for me. It was just kind of a, I'm here, you're here, let's be together. There was no real chemistry. I didn't enjoy that. And just, yeah, overall, this is a summer book, and it's just that. It's a perfect book that you can read quickly and fall in love with the ice cream aspect of it, but it's not going to leave a really strong impression on you, and it's not going to leave much of an imprint, if that makes any sense. So overall, I gave this 2.75, maybe 3. It was just mediocre in my opinion, which I'm sad about because I really wanted to love it. Because like I said, I had all the things that I wanted in a book, but it just fell kind of flat for me in all of those regards. The next book I'm going to talk about is Starry Eyes by Jen Bennett. Jen Bennett released a book called Alex approximately last year, which I loved. One of my favorite YA contemporaries by far. So to say I went into this expecting a lot would be a vast understatement. Overall, I came out of this one enjoying it, but not as much as Alex approximately. This book, we follow our main character, Zori, and Zori is a very meticulous person. She's a very structured, scheduled person. She doesn't like it when things kind of go askew. She likes planning things to a T, and she gets invited to this like camping, hiking trip by one of her friends she kind of used to be closer to, and she goes with this group of friends to this glamping place, and basically they get kicked out, and pretty much Zori and a guy named Lennon get stranded together, and they have to finish the hiking trip on their own. So that's the whole kind of general plot to this book. Zori and Lennon have a very rich history. They were best friends growing up. They kind of were into one another in high school, and something really big happened in their lives, and they just went completely opposite ways. They don't talk to each other, they can't stand each other. So like I said, Zori and Lennon have history, and they are going on this camping trip. Either one of them knows they're going, and they get stranded together, obviously, you can tell, and things start happening from there. Like I said, I did enjoy this book, not quite as much as Alex Approximately. I did enjoy that our main characters weren't just stranded together and they found love. No, they had a very big history with them. They were best friends. They were kind of boyfriend and girlfriend for a while, so they have some backstory there, so it's not just them together randomly. So I enjoyed them finally confronting things they needed to talk about. Through the wilderness aspect of this book, they were big into they were obviously hiking, they found waterfalls and all that kind of things. Now, don't ask me, because I like nature, sure, like I would love to go on a hike as long as it's just a hike, and stuff like that. Camping, I don't do camping. I don't do really rich, insane wilderness things, so I enjoyed reading about it, but I can't foresee myself doing all of these things. So I really like that. Austin is kind of like your typical emo boy back in my day in high school. Like, he is to the T an emo boy. Like, he reminds me, like, while reading this book, pictured him as Eli from Degrassi, if you've watched that show. Like, the whole time I was picturing Eli, which I really enjoyed. They had great chemistry, Zori and Lennon, and overall the romance was good. Be forewarned, this does have a little bit of steamier times than I was expecting from a YA contemporary, so just know that going into it. But overall, I would give this book a 4 out of 5. I think it's a solid YA contemporary book. There's a lot of great diversity in it because Lennon has 2 moms. I didn't like it as much as Alex Approximately. I think I gave Alex Approximately like 4.5, maybe close to 5 stars. This one I only gave a 4 because I did enjoy it, but I didn't enjoy it as much. But overall, would I recommend this book? Definitely. It's a perfect spring and summer read. All of these books I'm talking about today kind of are, and I enjoyed it. As always, I like Jen Bennett's writing. She had quickly enveloped you in the story, and it's just a quick, fun, fast read, and, you know, with some steamy times in it if you're interested in that. And the last book I want to talk about is You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone, Rachel Lynn Solomon. This book was a surprise for me. By that I mean I loved it. I was not expecting to love it, and I love when that happens to me with books. This was definitely the saddest book of the bunch. The other 2 are like bright and cheery and romancy. This is not that. While it does have romance in it, it does not take the whole plot of the story. In this book, we follow our 2 main characters. We get 2 points of views. We have Tova and Adina, who are fraternal twins. What happens in this book is their mother has Huntington's disease, and that is a disease that I've never really read about a lot or know a lot about, so I was very interested in this book for that. Also, they are Jewish. They are a Jewish family. They're really into the Jewish culture and the religion of it, which I also really enjoyed reading about. And what happens, the whole plot premise of this book is their mother does have Huntington's disease, which means that it's obviously running through one of their like DNA or genetic things. I'm not a good scientist. So on their 18th birthday, they both take a blood test to figure out if one of them has the Huntington's gene. And basically in this book, without spoiling it for you, one of them has it and one of them doesn't. So we really get to see what happens after they figure out that information, how it affects their lives and things like that. Also, these 2 sisters, just because they're twins, does not make them close. They in fact really do not like each other. They had a big past and big falling out, and you're seeing that fully flesh out in this book. You get to see how, you know, each one of them feels about the other, how much each one of them wants to be like the other, but they can't stand one of the other, and they really doing malicious things to one another. And this book is about them coming together. It's also about their family. It's also about the Jewish culture and religion and Huntington's disease. Also, each one of the main characters, each one of the girls has a love interest as well. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I loved so many things about it. I loved learning about Huntington's disease and how scary and horrifying the disease really is. I also really enjoyed reading about the Jewish religion and culture and how strongly twins really recognizes in it. She really loves being a part of that, and the other one doesn't. And I also loved reading about these twins that really did not like each other. They love each other, yes, but they just cannot get along and cannot understand one another. And I really loved reading about their journey. At one point I thought these two will never mend anything. They'll be like separate forever. But it's messy is my point. It's a very messy book of relationships, and I love the dynamic. This is a debut book, which I was not expecting because the writing was so beautiful, and I really loved it. This is an underrated book for sure because I have not heard anybody talk about it on BookTube, so I would definitely recommend this book. It is a sad book. It didn't make me cry. I think it's a sad book because you're realizing one of these twins is going to have a disease that's really going to affect her life and end her life pretty early on, and also their mom has it, and you get to see how it's starting, the symptoms and things like that within her. And also, you know, the twins' relationship is just so messy and fragile and just horrible, and it's just sad in those aspects. So overall, I really enjoyed this book. I would give this book a 4.5, really close to 5, honestly. And the more I think about it, I want to give it a 5 because I enjoyed it that much. Like, I read this book so fast because I couldn't put it down. I was very invested in the story and these twins' lives and their family's life. This is such a family-centric book, which I love to pieces. So yeah, just know that, you know, both of these characters are very flawed and not one of them is better than the other one. They both are messy, they're both complicated, they're both very flawed, and they both do horrible things. So just know that. But I enjoy reading books like that because you get to see the true structure of a person. So definitely recommend this one. Just, I loved it. Can't stop gushing about it. So there you have it, my thoughts and opinions on these 3 books right here. Obviously you can tell this is my favorite book of the entire bunch. I would say if you're looking for light spring summer reads, these 2 books are for you. If you want a little bit more of a hard-hitting contemporary, not like that's gonna make you cry, but definitely it's gonna make you feel things, I would recommend You'll Miss Me When I'm Gone. I would just recommend this in general because I love it so much. So yeah, if you've read any of these books, please let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I would love to hear them. For this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Footprints by